We think about it. We dream about it. We want it.
Oh
My
Blonde.
Episode 4 is all about blonde, baby. We've got London star Harriet Stokes for our masterclass. She'll teach you how to get a perfect French balayage shadow. And in the lab, we'll push the limits of blonde with L'Oréal Professionnel's innovative science that provides safe lightening for all clients.
Before we start, hit the subscribe button below to keep up with all things Run La Hair Show.
L'Oréal Professionnel presents Run La Hair Show, Episode 4. Let's talk about blonde.
Hi, hair lover, hair geek, hair friends, hair pros. You're watching Run La Hair Show with me, Peggy Frey, and with my two best hair friends forever, Min Kim and Charlie Lemandu.
We love you too, Piggy. Welcome, ladies.
Hi guys, so happy to be back in Paris with you. Run La Hair Show is for pros from all around the globe, so turn on your subtitles to make sure you don't miss anything in this new episode.
Run La Hair Show.
We're going to deep dive into the world of blonde. Because yes, there's not just one way to be blonde.
Or one full head. Charlie, what's going on?
Well, I was wondering which one was going to mention it and who was going to make the joke. Did you not have enough product? I just like it this way, sorry.
See what we're saying? Everybody goes blonde their own way. This is Charlie's way.
Let's talk about blonde.
Min, you're the queen of blonde. Have you ever been blonde?
Yes, but you'll never find a picture.
Blonde is everywhere in magazines, films, on the red carpets. A lot of women are switching it up and going blonde. Let's take a look. It's time for La Revue.
Find your own blonde story. La Revue.
Before going any further, is it true that in 200 years there will be no more natural blonde?
Relax, Peggy. Natural blondes aren't going to disappear, but it's true. It's a rare gene. That's why it's so unique.
And as long as there are pros who master all the blonde techniques, it will always be an option.
Enfin, hopefully they'll do full head, not just half.
Okay, I'm ignoring this. If you want your looks to be featured in La Revue, make sure you post your photos on Instagram.
So first, let's start with the most obvious reason that explains all of this blonde obsession.
Shine!
The first degree of going blonde, highlights. Okay, guys, I can't wait to hear what you think about those amazing looks. Who wants to begin?
Let me go first. The thing I've been noticing with the trend is that women are starting to request warmer colors. So you can still be blonde like Kevin Kyle's model from Canada and have a little bit of warmth in those highlights. And obviously India, where we're always fighting those really warm undercoats, there's a play of the warm and the cool tones. So they're still coexisting together.
What I love is that you see 3 different techniques to achieve a balayage especially customized for their models. It's like haute couture. For example, on a very tight formation, I love to use my glove, put a bit of lightening product in my hands, and just do a little massage to have the sun kiss effect.
So cool. What is the difference between highlights and balayage?
Not again, Piggy.
I'm sorry.
Watch the previous episode, we explain it.
No way, come on.
A highlight is a strand of hair that is lighter than your natural hair color, from the unnatural look of a mesh to a chunky section.
Basically, it means that it's more saturated. It's enclosed, whereas balayage, it can be open air, semi-open, or enclosed to create that sun-kissed effect that was made so popular in the French Riviera back in the 1970s.
When you go blonde, there is something not glamorous at all. It's this, you know? The root regrowth. But good news! Now it's glam, because now it's trendy. Yeah! I'm talking, obviously, about the root shadow. Wow, but we've got amazing looks.
I always love UK, and I love what they bring to hairstyling. It's always bright, it's always fun, and very good techniques. I love the work of Shibon.
I love it too, actually.
This is totally the nerd in me, but I look at everything in terms of like lines. I think it's really interesting that she's got a really small shadow root placed in a horizontal movement versus the look from Vladimir. There's more of a diagonal movement. So we're playing with the shape, with the shadows. And Shelley, what she's done is given us a combination of everything. So you've got the horizontal shadow root, plus we've got some movement moving through vertically.
What's the difference with the balayage?
Well, it's a complicated question that you just asked, Peggy.
I know.
So I've prepared a diagram. This is all about how that negative space plays with the light in the hair. Balayage, it lives vertically. Ombre and French balayage shadow, the light lives in a horizontal direction, but with an ombre, it's closer to the ends. With the French balayage shadow, it's closer to that natural regrowth or the root area.
What kind of clients do you recommend the French balayage shadow to?
It's super good for someone that wants something fast, low maintenance, and not necessarily bold.
I don't agree about low maintenance because it is a look that a client will come every month to get done.
Well, it's low maintenance if you match the tone, Charlie, to their natural level.
You will probably agree on the look from color expert Harriet Stokes in our masterclass. It's a shadow roots look with a French touch. Stay tuned. Everyone has their own blonde story, but we all have one thing in common. Once you start going blonde, it's hard to stop. So becoming a blonde addict gets you a platinum card, I guess.
A black card is better, especially when it's not yours.
I'm team platinum anyway because it's our next category. Let's go! Do you both know where does this myth about blondes comes from?
I believe it comes from Hollywood Golden Age, at the time when all the actresses wanted to be blonde, but back then, we didn't have at all the same science in products.
Today, most lightening products on the market can lift up to 9 levels, but now we have Bonder inside. That means you can get really high lift without damaging the integrity of your client's hair fiber.
But so today, what's the perfect platinum?
I love the one from Natalie from Dubai because texture hair sometimes can be much more difficult to lighten. It's a different techniques again and takes more time. So I'm really impressed by the result on this one.
If you look at South Korea and Dubai, they both have darker bases. So they want something that's cooler, right? Whether it's more iridescent, ashy, or icy. And if we look at Danny's model, so she's got more of that raw vanilla tone. So that's going to have a much more natural feel versus the icier tones from Korea and Dubai.
I want to give a huge thank you to all the wonderful L'Oréal professionals featured in this edition of La Revue. It wouldn't have been the same without you guys, really.
For all precision lovers, Harriet Stokes in a French balayage shadow. La Masterclass.
Guys, I have a question for you. Do you know Harriet Stokes?
Of course.
Because to serve this endless blonde topic, I thought we could all benefit from a little more blonde hair.
Sure, thank you.
No. You don't understand. She's not just blonde. She's young and talented. She's a master of balayage and foiling.
Is it just me or does Peggy have a crush?
We're always attracted by what we don't have.
Oh my God, you're jealous. That's why you say this.
I'm not jealous, I'm marvelous.
I'm a fan. And you will be too, guys, when you discover her performance in blonding called French Balayage Shadow. La Masterclass, top vidéo.
La Masterclass.
Hi, my name's Harriet Stokes and welcome to my French Balayage Shadow Masterclass. Today, I'm going to take Niall from dark to light with a French Balayage Shadow service, dramatically lightening her ends with Blonde Studio 9 Bonder inside and seamlessly merging her dark roots with Dialight. Being blonde has never been so low maintenance and natural looking. Now, I believe to have the perfect French balayage shadow, you need to have the perfect application. And to have the perfect application, you need to have the perfect sectioning. So to begin with, we are going to be sectioning the hair off into 4 quarters. As always, we did an allergy test 48 hours ago to make sure that she has no reaction to the product. So we can begin mixing my product. So first things first, we need to put our gloves on, and we're going to be taking our Blonde Studio 9 with Bonder inside. I'm going to mix 30 grams of my powder, and we're going to pop in 60 grams of our 20 vol. So we're going to take nice tight tension with your left hand, and we're going to put our comb in at a slight angle, and we're going to push the hair to create some back comb. You're then going to help create a really soft fusion of the hair and to help that transition of colour. We're going to start by pre-treating it with Metal Detox. We are going to think about where we want the transition to be. We're then going to apply the colour below and work on the lengths and ends of the hair first. We're then going to take our second brush, nice and clean, and we're going to use this for our detailing. What we don't want to do is be folding the foil through that hair. We really want to be making sure that everything stays nice and neat without any disruption on that section. And my secret with application is always reapply. Keep reapplying. When you think you've got enough products, add more. I've opted to use Blonde Studio 9 with Bonder inside. 9 levels is going to push it really high. So with the Bonder inside, that's going to really help protect the hair and to prevent any damage. We really need to take into consideration how much root we leave, which will work throughout the whole haircut. What we're going to be doing differently here is we're going to turn the brush onto the side, and we're going to start blending this colour with our brush, keeping in mind that we still want to create a really beautiful soft transition. Okay, so now we're at the point where everything's ready to come off. Now we're going to be cleansing the hair with the Metal Detox Cleansing Shampoo. This is going to help remove any metal residue from the hair. You can really see this colour taking shape, and already it's looking super cool. And we're going to help blend this little transition down by coming in with a slightly deeper toner. We're going to let that drop, and then we're going to come through onto the ends with something just to help get the reflex that we're looking for. The darker shade that we're going to be using today is 701. So it's a 7 soft ash, and this is going to help drop that depth down a little bit and help to take out and eliminate some of the warmth. Now we want to drop the transition down around this area here. We're going to place the toner, then using our pinchers, we're then going to help push that into the hair. So now we're going to move on to the back and continue blending this down and adding the colour onto the ends to now get that really beautiful transition from root to tip. And my toner of choice is Dear Light 913. Now we're toning on a level 9 as we've lifted to a 9, and 913 is 9 Ash Gold. So what I'm going to do now is leave my model to develop for the full development time of 20 minutes so that I can get the true reflect that we're looking for. So we're going to start rinsing off at the back. We're going to come back through with our Metal Detox Cleansing Shampoo. So for the final step, we're going to be using our Metal Detox Mask, and this is going to help prevent any residue from the metal coming back. What I like to do to make my clients feel comfortable and relaxed is blow dry what they can see in the mirror first. It's important that they're feeling comfortable and feeling themselves. I really hope you enjoyed today's transformation, and if you want to find out more, join us over on Access.
La Masterclass. Run the hair show.
Wow, wow, wow. I love these looks. It's like another way to become blonde, don't you think?
Yeah, totally. I love Harriet. And I feel like her application was so precise and so neat.
Actually, I couldn't agree more. And another thing that I really think is smart, that I do too, is when you have a big transformation or color in general, dry the front first to make sure they like it before they go.
I don't understand something. I thought that balayage was a freehand techniques, and Harriet is using foils, right?
A term that I learned in the States is foliage, a balayage with foils. It's when you want a much more dramatic lift.
Foliage.
Foliage.
Foliage. Okay, I got it.
The secret to Harriet's French balayage shadow is precision and the right products. Get all your must-haves at your L'Oréal Professionnel partner shop.
I love the glow of the look, but also the personality of the amazing talent. She's inspired me a lot, and if you want to be inspired too, go see Harriet's full tête-à-tête interview on YouTube. You'll love it.
Science pushes the blonde limits. Le Lab.
Everyone wants to be blonde, but is there no limit in the quest for blondness?
Of course there is.
I say this all the time. Go blonde? Okay. But as a hairdresser, you have to protect the hair too. So watch out for damage.
Okay, but how do you do to satisfy those clients who dream of going blonder and blonder and blonder?
We can push the limits because at L'Oréal Professionnel, we have science on our side. An expert knowledge of hair that allows us to fight the right balance between performance and protection.
Like with Blonde Studio 9, now with Bonder inside. But having such an amazing formula is a challenge. So how did the L'Oréal Professionnel teams make it? Let's find out in Le Lab.
Le Lab.
Passer du brun au blond, c'est pas de la magie, c'est de la science. Promettre le meilleur de la performance et de la protection, c'est de la nouvelle technologie Blonde Studio 9 Bonder Inside. On vous en dit plus tout de suite. Bienvenue dans Le Lab.
Le Lab.
Dans le développement produit, nous aimons relever des challenges et la quête du blond en est un particulièrement intéressant. Mais avant cela, vous allez comprendre comment nous pouvons répondre à vos attentes de pro et celles de vos clients grâce à la science.
La science, c'est l'ADN de L'Oréal et elle est vraiment au cœur de nos innovations.
Les cheveux semblent simples à l'extérieur, mais si on regarde une image de microscopie d'un cheveu, on se rend compte à quel point l'univers est complexe. Et c'est ce que tu vas nous détailler maintenant.
Le cheveu, vous avez la surface avec ses écailles, puis cette couche qui s'appelle la cuticule, qui est la gaine protectrice. Mais ce qui est important, c'est l'intérieur qu'on appelle communément le cortex, qui est formé de cellules corticales. Et tout se passe à l'intérieur du cheveu.
Mais qu'est-ce qui fait la couleur d'un cheveu?
Si on revient à cette image du cheveu et vous voyez l'intérieur, ces petits grains noirs, ce sont les grains de mélanine. Et c'est les grains de mélanine qui vont donner la couleur aux cheveux. On distingue deux types de mélanine. La phéomélanine qui va donner du jaune au rouge, la couleur aux cheveux, du jaune au rouge, et la eumélanine qui va donner du brun au rouge. Et le ratio de ces deux types de mélanine va faire qu'on a des cheveux qui sont naturellement bruns, foncés, et des cheveux qui vont aller jusqu'au blond très clair.
Maintenant que tu nous as présenté cette pigmentation, comment on décolore ce cheveu?
C'est grâce à des actifs, les agents alcalins, qui vont interagir avec le cheveu pour, en première étape, le faire gonfler. Et puis après, ils vont pénétrer à l'intérieur du cheveu pour aller attaquer ces petits grains de mélanine de façon à les déstructurer jusqu'à les éliminer. C'est comme ça qu'on va réussir à passer d'un cheveu qui est pigmenté, brun par exemple, à un cheveu qui est décoloré.
Chez L'Oréal Professionnel, nous avons développé la gamme Blonde Studio pour répondre à vos attentes en termes de décoloration. Cette gamme offre de 7 à 9 niveaux d'éclaircissement et est multitechnique. Et le dernier arrivé, c'est la poudre Blond Studio 9 Bonder Inside. C'est la première formule de la gamme qui allie grande performance d'éclaircissement et grande protection. Pour évaluer le niveau de performance d'éclaircissement de nos formules, nous observons les mèches sous une boîte à lumière. En complément, nous réalisons des mesures colorimétriques et on voit des différences significatives entre Blond Studio 8 Bonder Inside et Blond Studio 9 Bonder Inside. Mais il nous reste un challenge de taille, la protection de l'intégrité du cheveu.
Le processus de décoloration va mettre le cheveu à rude épreuve. Le cheveu va subir ce qu'on appelle un stress oxydatif. Comme tu le sais, Hugo, le cheveu est composé de différents types de protéines reliées entre elles par différents types de liaisons. Des liaisons fortes et des liaisons faibles. Le stress oxydatif induit parfois la casse ou la transformation de ces liaisons. C'est ça qui fait qu'on a un déséquilibre au niveau de la structure du cheveu.
C'est pour ça qu'un cheveu décoloré est moins résistant qu'un cheveu non décoloré.
Et là encore, c'est notre capacité à observer le cœur de la fibre qui nous a permis de découvrir les actifs pour mettre au point notre nouvelle formule Bonder Inside.
Les deux actifs bonding sont l'acide citrique et la glycine. Ils vont pénétrer au cœur de la fibre et limiter le stress oxydatif. Autrement dit, ils vont protéger les liaisons faibles et fortes en conservant l'équilibre de la structure interne du cheveu. Comme toujours, nous avons fait des tests mécaniques et chimiques pour mesurer l'efficacité de notre formule.
Nous allons vous présenter la machine de traction. Cet appareil permet de tirer sur les cheveux jusqu'à la casse et de mesurer la force nécessaire pour y parvenir. Tous les résultats issus de ces tests permettent d'évaluer la bonne santé du cheveu après application des différents traitements. Plus un cheveu est en bonne santé, plus la force nécessaire pour le casser sera élevée. Avec Blond Studio 9 Bonder Inside, nous avons un renforcement de la structure interne du cheveu, ce qui entraîne une augmentation de la résistance à la casse.
Et pour aller encore plus loin, et après de nombreuses années de recherche, nous avons pu découvrir que la présence de certains métaux, comme le cuivre à l'intérieur du cheveu, peuvent le fragiliser.
C'est à ce moment précis que la routine Metal Detox entre en scène. Un protocole à utiliser avant la décoloration pour neutraliser le cuivre et en aval avec plusieurs soins. Résultat, une couleur fiable et 87% de casse en moins. Ce protocole complète parfaitement Blond Studio 9 Bonder Inside.
Le Lab.
Grâce à la science, nous continuerons à vous accompagner avec des produits répondant aux enjeux et aux tendances de la coiffure professionnelle.
Pour vous permettre d'explorer les limites de la quête du blond en toute confiance.
Le Lab. Run the Hair Show.
Who knew there was an entire world inside one little strand of hair?
That's true.
I loved seeing how the researchers work together with the formula and product developers.
And hairdressers. They're constantly innovating in ways that make things easier for us to deliver the better results with healthier formulas.
Yes, it's clear that Blond Studio 9 Bonder Inside is a star.
So basically, it's scientifically proven that your hair is in good hands with L'Oréal Professionnel.
Pro Secrets.
It's essential for colorists to master techniques, especially when it comes to blonde, but
Why is there a but?
we are also, and please repeat this word, entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur.
Bravo, Mine.
Anyway, I totally agree. Our artistic talents must be shown in the right place. It's our salon, our business model. That's how we stand out.
French colorist Pierre Carly shares the secrets to be successful with balayage and thanks to social media.
This guy gets straight to the point and it works. Pay attention. He's about to give us all his pro secrets.
Sneak into Pierre Carly's salon and get his tips and tricks. Pro Secrets.
Bonjour à tous, je m'appelle Pierre Carly. J'ai ouvert un salon spécialisé dans le balayage en 2018. J'ai imaginé un concept simple avec une communication basée uniquement sur les réseaux sociaux et un prépaiement et une réservation uniquement en ligne. J'ai mis l'accent essentiellement sur le balayage. Je pense que quand on veut être le meilleur dans quelque chose, il faut s'y spécialiser. On le voit bien sur les réseaux sociaux, tous les coiffeurs dont on parle à l'échelle mondiale sont tous des coloristes. Et pourquoi le balayage ? Parce qu'on sait que c'est un des services les plus rentables et surtout actuellement, c'est un des services sur lesquels on peut le plus apporter sa touche. Pour créer le concept, les bonnes questions à se poser, c'est prendre la journée type d'une cliente, la journée type d'un coiffeur, et on essaie de lisser tout ce qui peut être désagréable pour les deux. De ne pas mettre du tout de téléphone pour être tranquille, de ne pas mettre de miroir, faire des tarifs fixes. C'est le même prix pour tout le monde, que les cheveux soient de là à là. La réservation en ligne et le prépaiement en ligne qui sont obligatoires chez nous, on ne peut pas réserver autrement. C'est un peu le cœur du business. Ça a plusieurs avantages. Du côté coiffeur, les clientes se présentent au rendez-vous, ce qui est déjà énorme. D'avoir le prépaiement en totalité, ça change complètement l'expérience client. Et puis maintenant, c'est carrément rentré dans les mœurs. Je voulais pas être extrême dans tout comme ça. C'est devenu maintenant mais d'une normalité. Rien que de penser comment je bossais avant, ça me paraît fou. Quand j'ai ouvert, j'avais déjà une bonne clientèle, j'avais déjà dans mon carnet d'adresses quelques influenceuses. C'est déjà une énorme sécurité. Je pouvais payer le loyer, faire tourner la boutique, pas de mise en danger. La communication, c'est la chose la plus importante. Les réseaux sociaux, c'était pas du tout une évidence pour moi. Je me suis dit, ok, on s'y colle. Et ça a été là la création de l'Instagram. Si on choisit d'avoir un Instagram pro, il faut faire ça de façon très sérieuse. C'est quand même un temps consacré qui a vraiment une rentabilité que je pense énorme. Il faut être très exigeant avec ce qu'on poste parce que les gens ne retiennent que la photo qui leur déplaît. Je pense que maintenant, pour les jeunes, ce qui leur donne envie, c'est un sentiment d'appartenance qui est quelque chose d'ultra important. Si tu veux des jeunes bons et dynamiques, il faut les mettre en avant, les laisser s'exprimer et prendre ce fameux risque de leur laisser leur clientèle et leur laisser leur identité. La vente de produits est déjà pas mal aidée par le fait que je parle énormément de produits sur les stories. Le principe d'avoir créé des routines sur notre shop, c'était d'amener mon expertise de pro à la cliente. Le fait qu'on en ait parlé et qu'elle ait déjà payé, ça fait qu'elle n'a qu'une envie, c'est se faire plaisir et partir avec sa routine.
Pro Secrets.
J'ai été ravi de partager avec vous mes Pro Secrets. Si vous voulez retrouver les innovations L'Oréal professionnelles, rendez-vous sur L'Oréal Partner Shop.
Run the Hair Show.
Okay, don't tell my hairdresser. But I want to be a Carlinette.
A Charlinette.
No, a Carlinette.
A Charlinette.
No.
All right, guys. You can't go wrong using the customer experience as a starting point. What do you think, Charlie?
Well, I like his universe, I like his boldness, and this is really a unique offer. I also love that he treats the psychological aspect of the consumer like with his routine on Easy Shop.
But why is it so important?
Because when you choose a hairdresser, it's like choosing a doctor. Once you trust them, you trust every recommendation they make, and you'll follow their treatments. That's exactly what Pierre managed to put in place. He's an expert, and his clients trust him.
Let's talk about blonde.
Girls, I love you, but I really need to finish my second section.
Yep, you really need to take care of that.
One more beautiful blonde in the world.
Bye-bye!
Au revoir!
À bientôt!
Bisous!
And don't forget to run the hair show!
Run the Hair Show.
You can discover even more of our videos by clicking on our subscribe button.
Stay tuned for the next episode all about curls. We're counting on you.